I guess I'll get started with this because Michigan State this past Friday victory over the Florida Atlantic Owls 16-10. 0 points in the second half, just 2 total touchdowns on the night and a safety in the first quarter. They were up the whole game, but man, you would have thought that they were not because my goodness, there is not a whole lot of positive to come out of this game. Starting at first things first with Aiden Childs. Aiden Childs went 10 for 24, 114 yards, average of 4.8 yards in the air per throw, no tutties, couple of picks. He did run for 28 yards on 6 carries with a touchdown, so he did account for one of the touchdowns, but 2 turnovers and another bit of a caveat on that first interception on that first throw. That was suspicious. We'll just say that. But the stat is what it is. It's recorded as an interception, so it'll be an interception. I gotta say, I understand. Aiden Childs, he's 18 years old. He's coming into a new team, whole new players. I understand. This better be the worst game that he has all year. Because if he plays like this the entire season, if this is the quarterback that we went out and got from Oregon State, that Jonathan Smith personally wanted to come and be his quarterback and develop this player, boy, oh boy, are we going to be in for the long haul because this guy might not be able to play in Canada. That performance was one of the most frustrating performances. The inability to finish drives, the just utter lack of accuracy to the point where it's like, dude, are you even aware of the routes that your receivers are running? I mean, it's a problem when every time he takes a shot, there's 20 feet of grass in either direction wherever the ball ends up. Like, you can't do that you can't do that in high school. You certainly won't be able to do that at Michigan State in the Big Ten. That's not possible. That's not real life. You can't do that. And I understand none of his receivers were really doing him any favors. I mean, your leading receiver was a guy named Michael Masunas who had 2 catches for 29 yards. You didn't have a single receiver who had 30 yards in the game. I mean, Montorie Foster Jr. should have been taken out of the game, despite the fact that he was second on the team in receiving yards, and most on the team in receptions. Like, my question is, though, to Jonathan Smith, is why aren't we throwing the ball to Nick Marshmore? Why is Montorie Foster Jr. getting all these targets? Why is Jack Velling, this tight end that was brought in, again, in the transfer portal, you wanted this guy, why isn't he getting more targets? Why do I have to watch Montorie Foster Jr.'s stone hands and have balls bounce off into the air, into the FAU players? Like, why is that the game plan? Like, I'm not saying that, like, I hated Montorie Foster Jr. going into this game. I didn't. I'd be lying to you. But frankly, I wanted to see a whole lot more from some of these new guys. Because clearly Montorie Foster Jr. was not stepping up that whole game. So if he wasn't stepping up, if he wasn't making plays, then why aren't we letting Nick Marsh have plays? Why aren't we letting Jack Velling have plays? Heck, why aren't we throwing the ball to Kayron Lynch-Adams in the flat or in a screen? Because he was about the only player on offense on either team that wanted to play football that day. Kayron Lynch-Adams was basically the most fun player on the field the entire time. I mean, he ran for 100 yards, had a massive 63-yard touchdown, basically lit up the building, lit up Spartan Stadium, and then from that point proceeded to do basically nothing. Not Kayron Lynch-Adams, the offense as a whole and the building as a whole. So Michigan State comes away with a win, but I don't feel really any different as far as, the prospects for this team. And if anything, I feel worse. like any positive vibes I might have had about, well, maybe they can sneak into 8 wins. Maybe they can beat Iowa, or maybe they can, beat Rutgers. I don't know. Like, if this FAU game is indicative of the kind of team that Michigan State is going to be, they'd be lucky to get 4 wins, because that looked worse than it did last year with Noah Kim running the show. At least in the Central Michigan game, by the end of it, Michigan State had won by multiple possessions. And on that point, I have just a simple question for Jonathan Smith. How many points are you able to score with a singular touchdown at the most? Is it 6? No, you can get more than 6. Is it 7? No, you can get more than 7. Is it 8? That's right, that's 8. Michigan State was up 16-10 late in the third quarter, or late in the fourth quarter, I should say. And by my mathematics, I went to Michigan State, so I may not be that smart, but by my mathematics, that means that Michigan State was up, carry the 4, bring over the 2, one possession, right? Michigan State in the red zone. I believe it was fourth and 1, right? You didn't get a third, you didn't convert on a third down. Okay. Do you go for the points to add a possession to your lead because clearly your offense has not done much of anything the entire game? Or do you F it, let's run the football, and everybody on the field, everybody in the stadium, everybody watching at home, the millions and millions of people, I don't know if it was millions, the thousands and thousands of people watching at home knew exactly what Michigan State was going to do, and gosh darn it, we were all right. And FAU saw the run up the middle with your best back and K'Ron Lynch-Adams, and they ate it alive. Like, apparently in the post-game presser, he admit, oh yeah, that was my. It's like, dude, that's like middle school. That's like little kids that playing college football or Madden know what to do in that situation. And I know in the actual situation, you're emotional. You want to ice the game. You want to score a touchdown. Want your guys to get a big number on the board. Look, your offense was not moving on the field. Period. Full stop. That was your last chance to get any points, and it actually was your last chance to get any points. Don't put it all on your defense to try to win the game when they've been holding FAU to 10 points the entire time. Meanwhile, the offense can't get out of its own way. So I really hope that that's the last of that, because Dan Campbell, Jonathan Smith is not, and the Detroit Lions, Michigan State football is not. So I really hope that's the end of it. Now, I want to end with a little bit of positivity on this. The defense did look pretty okay. I mean, you hold any team to 10 points, I'll feel decent about it. I know it's FAU. I know it's, All-American Conference. I know I don't think anybody will be watching any Florida Atlantic football after this game. But again, they were making plays. They were stopping them on third downs, which is a big thing. Michigan State, I want to say the past couple of years, had one of the worst third down defenses in all of FBS. They were 122 out of 122 or whatever the number is. They were in the bottom tier. So any progress in that field, I will take. And on top of that, they were getting to the quarterback. They were finishing the job. They had 7 total sacks on the night, including a few that helped really ice the game late in the game there. So I really like to see that. I like to see the secondary make plays. A couple of interceptions. That was great to see. A nice return there as well. I want to say, let me see if I can find it. Nikai Martinez. I was gonna say Nick Martinez. Nikai Martinez had a nice pick for a 41-yard return, which I believe, I could be wrong on this. I want to say that was the first touchdown drive, or maybe not. Maybe that was the field goal drive, or maybe that was the 4th down drive. I don't remember what it was, but that was good to see. It was good to see, I guess, Jonathan Kim, the kicker, make 2 extra points. Again, I would have liked to see him actually kick a field goal in a tight spot, 4th quarter, chance to go up 2 scores and really ice the game, but Jonathan Smith had other plans, apparently. And the other thing, I guess I'm not done with the negativity. That was basically the only positivity, was the defense won the game, basically. Michigan State won this game on the back of its defense. I don't think they're really going to be able to do that realistically over the next 11 games. So offense, Aiden Childs, you got to figure it out. But the one thing that is at least on coaching as much as it is on the players, I think it's probably more on coaching, frankly, these penalties. Michigan State had 12 total penalties. That is more than twice as many as FAU for 140 yards. That is almost 3 times as much penalty yards as FAU had. The one thing that boils my blood like no other watching my football teams is when you make a play or you're in a tough spot. All you got, you're in like a 3rd and long or whatever it is. If I see yellow on the field after making a big play and it's some stupid off the ball or after the play penalty that results in the offense of the opposing team or whatever staying on the field, that is like poison ivy to me. That is like if I'm near that, I want to just jump out of my window. That it's the worst thing you can. It's the worst first impression you can give me as a football team is being undisciplined. And I know FAU's quarterback was trying to get his head taken off a lot of those slides, but after personal foul late hit targeting number like 65, I was like, okay, guys, like just go 2-hand touch. All right. Put your hands in front of you when you see him even remotely close to you. Because clearly these refs are not letting you, or they're not giving you any leeway on this, right? If you touch him, his helmet's going to go flying into the stratosphere. So stop doing it. Stop doing it. And not to mention all the other, penalties that were not the targeting. Like, you can't have 12 penalties and win most of your games. You just can't. Like, certainly not in this day and age. Like, you're giving FAU extra first downs. You're giving them extra field position to try to kick a field goal. You cannot do that. And in FAU, maybe you can get away with it. FAU at home, Friday night, in front of all your fans. Everybody's going to be there because it's the first game of the season. You might be able to get away with that. And you did. But come Maryland this week, come Ohio State. I mean, please, that game is, that's going to be rough. Come Iowa, come Michigan, come Rutgers, come Illinois. Like, you won't be able to get away with that sort of thing. Like, regardless of what you think of any of the teams Michigan State has to play up and coming, outside of maybe Prairie View A&M, which I'm pretty sure is consistent of the entire population of Prairie View A&M. I'm pretty sure the janitor is their quarterback. Like, outside of that, you cannot play this way. So, clean it up on offense, clean up the penalties, stay consistent on defense, and please, Jonathan Smith, get your head out of your rear end. If you have a chance to extend your lead, given the way this offense looks, take it. I don't want to see going forward on 4th and 1s when you could go up 2 possessions, or heck, when you could just go up an extra possession. Take the points. Your defense has the potential, but maybe to keep you in a game and make a sack, make a TFL. So don't put all the pressure on an 18-year-old quarterback or on, any of these other new players, or heck, don't put it on Montorie Foster Jr. That guy would drop more balls than, I don't know, like Eric Ebron wishes he had the hands that Montorie Foster Jr. had in terms of dropping the football. So, look, looking ahead at Maryland, a lot would change in the outlook of this team if Michigan State could go in and win that game in a low-scoring affair. Like, if the defense can hold Maryland to, a similar point range, 10 to 15 points, and it's just sort of a battle of the turnovers or a battle of field position, and maybe Aiden Childs can start to figure it out, start to get some chemistry with maybe the Nick Marshes, the Jack Vellings, heck, even the Montorie Foster Jr.'s of the world. Like, maybe we'd have something to look forward to this season. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I don't feel like we're going to come away from the Maryland game with a win. But if we do, then we'll be right back here on a week from today, and tones will have shifted. So, similar, it's weird. It's like Michigan State already played, but I'm still going into this next game of basically show me something. Because what was shown looked like a team that was not ready to play. So if you want my respect back, if you want me to get back on the wagon, go out in Maryland and win. Like go out and show the world, Aiden Giles, that you aren't in fact, Helen Keller at quarterback. So all that being said, maybe K'Ron Lynch Adams will be at least the only fun I can have this year. That's quite the name too. K'Ron Lynch Adams. It's a bit of a mouthful. You'd think for a running back, you want a quick name, K9, Barry Sanders, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm just thinking of fast names. Fast sounding. K'Ron Lynch Adams is too many consonants. We just need like single syllable names. So that's my commentary on K'Ron Lynch Adams. What do you want? I'm just a fan, all right? What do you want from me? Brian Kelly, what do you think?
Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Well, that seems a little harsh, Brian, but I can understand that position. I can understand. Hi, it's me again. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like and subscribe button. We do live shows every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there.